and welcome to VOSR International, the voice of shortwave radio. I'm your host, Wavecrest Guy. This broadcast is being transmitted by WRMI, Radio Miami International, in Okeechobee, Florida, on both 9455 and 15770 kilohertz. This broadcast is also being transmitted by shortwave radio in Lower Saxony, Germany, on 3975 kilohertz.
Drifting on the blue horizon where the frequencies ignite, the signal leaves the islands, chasing down the edge of night. 1,000 miles of salt and static, a world within the reach of your dial. From the Pacific to your porch, the voice is calling clear, bridging every ocean just to whisper in your ear. Global conversations that bring the distant near, bring the distant near. We open up the mailbag, every letter, every word, a chorus of the listeners across us, the distances we've heard. Connecting every time zone in a circuit made of glass and air, made of glass and air. The voice of shortwave radio, the signal wants to go. Aloha from the islands, we'll see you down the line.
So we will start out this broadcast with some announcements. First off, next week I am going to be on Oahu. My wife is having her surgery, and she's having a hip replacement. And I still haven't decided whether I will have a rebroadcast next week. So there might be. It all depends if I'm going to take all this equipment, and it kind of depends how she's feeling and stuff like that. So I really don't know. I'm hopefully going to have a broadcast ready to upload, ready to transfer. But at this point, I really don't know if I'm going to be able to do that while I'm there. We are staying there a full week when she has this surgery. We'll be there for about 5 days afterwards. So I may not have a new broadcast next week. It may be a rebroadcast. But if it is going to be a rebroadcast, I will put it on our website over at VOSRinternational.com. I'll tell you which one it'll be, just in case it's one that you might have missed. But if I don't put a notice on there, then it will be a new broadcast, and I will have my regular reminders being posted about on my YouTube channel and other social media. Also, just a reminder that to go over and check out our website at VOSRinternational.com. Plenty to look at over there. I usually always have pages with more information about the segments that I'm doing. If I'm talking about equipment or radios, I'll have links and videos, links that you can check out, and so you can see it and hear it for yourself. And then also on the historic segments that I do, I'll have more information with links on information where you can check out and get more information. We also have some merchandise over there at VOSRinternational.com. We've got some hats and mugs and desk pads and things like that, shirts. So go check it out. Anything that you buy helps us purchase airtime so we can stay on the air. And then also check out our listeners map. We every time I get a email or a post that says your location, where you're picking up the broadcast, I will put it up, pin up on that listeners map. We are by the time this airs, we're going to be over 400 pins. And I have been getting quite a few more pins over in Europe, And that is really nice to see. Definitely, the majority of them are coming from the Shortwave Radio Gold broadcast out of Germany. But then during the summer, I have been getting quite a few more pins to be added that the people are listening on 15770 kilohertz. That is definitely transmitting much better during the summer hours, so people are picking up the broadcast that way. Also, if you want, send in some pictures of your radios and your equipment. People love to check out other people's setups. Send in pictures, and I'll get them put out over on our website. I have a page there for listeners, radios, and rigs. You can take a picture of just the equipment, yourself with the equipment, and I will get those put on there. There's quite a few pictures on there, some really nice radios to check out. So don't forget to check that out while you're there. There's also a newsletter that you could sign up for. All you gotta do is put your email in there. You won't get inundated with spam or anything like that. It's just a newsletter. If there are any updates, any problems with the frequencies or a change in frequencies or an update about the show, I'll send out that newsletter. So it'll usually go out once a month or once every couple months, actually, sometimes, if there's everything's going well and there's no big announcements that need to be made. So you can sign up over there. It's usually on the bottom of every page where you can just add your email, and then you will be signed on to the newsletter. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook. If you are on that medium, we are over on Facebook under VOSR International. Go over and join the group, and then you can start posting. If you post over there, post reception reports or post comments, those comments do get read on the air also. So once you join, you're able to post. And there's a lot of nice people over there, and that group has been growing pretty well also. So go over and join in. And then we also have a group on Reddit. We have a subreddit over there. It is Grundig Shortwave Radio. It is a group that I had actually started before I started the broadcast here. You don't have to have a Grundig radio to join the group. All radios are welcome. Go over there and join the group. There's quite a few more people in that group. It's been around longer, but you can go ahead and post in over there, and once you join, and then you can post reception reports, and you can check it out and ask questions. There's a lot of people out there that have a lot of information that can help you out. And lastly, don't forget to check out my YouTube channel at Wavecrest Guy. I've got plenty of reception report videos, equipment reviews, that type of thing. I've got them all divided up into playlists, so you can go over there and check it out. I actually have a playlist of all our past broadcasts here at VOSRinternational.com. International. You can go over, if you're over at our website at VOSRinternational.com, you can check out, I do have a page over there that also has links to all the past broadcasts of VOSR International. So you can go and check that out. And you can go all the way back to their first broadcast on February 28th of 2025 and start from the beginning if you want. All our broadcasts are there. Next, don't forget to send in emails. Send us an email in with a reception report, comments about the show, about segments. Send an email to VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. You can also go over to our website at VOSRinternational.com and click on the mail icon, and you can contact us that way. But that is the only way that I can tell that people are listening and how well the transmission is going out across the world and that people are listening. And the mailbag is one of our favorite segments here. I get a lot of good email communication about enjoying the mailbag. So please keep those emails coming in. If you're a listener that's been listening for a long time and haven't sent in a message, it only takes a minute to go ahead and send one in. And then also, I really appreciate the people who send one in for every broadcast, because I could tell how the broadcast is being transmitted and how it's being received out there. And it changes all the time. So those are really important messages for me to get. So please continue to keep that up. up and send in some emails. And then I usually, for the emails too, some people want to keep their anonymity, and that's fine. I usually only tell your first name and then your location, as in your city or state or country. So I'm not giving out any more information than that, so you don't have to worry about that. So send in those emails and keep them coming in. I really appreciate it, and it makes for more of an interesting show. And when you send in an email, you can always request a QSL card. I usually have some pictures throughout Hawaii that I've used in the past that I send an EQSL card along with the response to your emails. But then I do have some postcard QSL cards printed up. I've got 2 different versions. Send me an email with your mailing address, and I'll get one of those out to you. And we've been sending quite a few out since I got some new ones printed out, so they're going quick. But don't be afraid to send in an email, request a QSL, and then if you do request one and I tell you that it's in the mail, please let me know if you got it. We've had a few that didn't make it for whatever reason. I resent them back out, and then they do get them. But again, I live on the small island of Molokai here, very small post office. From here they go to Oahu, and then they go out throughout the world. So they could take a while to get. We've had some going to Europe that took a month. I had one that went to Russia that took 6 weeks. So be patient if you are far from Molokai, Hawaii. But please keep me updated and make sure that you do get one. All right, so now on with the show. And next we'll have a vintage shortwave radio segment. And we're going to talk about the a series of radios put out by Zenith, the Transoceanic. They are basically a classic radio, literally around for decades. And actually, when I was first picking out my radios, this is one type of radio that I really wanted to get. And I really like the older tube ones, and then they went to solid state. And then as I started looking into them, I really like the solid state one too. I haven't picked one up. I don't have a ton of room here. I don't have any room on my radio table. I ended up going another direction and picking up a couple old Helicrafter tube radios. I have the SX71 and then the SX100, and I'm happy with both of those. But I do want to talk about the Zenith Transoceanic series of radios. So I have a connection with Zenith and actually with Helicrafters too. I lived in Chicago. I was born in Chicago, and I was there until I was 17 years old when I moved to Wisconsin. And growing up, we always had Zenith products, Zenith radios, Zenith TVs. There was a Zenith dealer about 3-4 houses down from where we lived, and we always had Zenith products. And I never really knew about the Transoceanic until I got to be an adult, and in looking at them, it is really a great history. So first off, the Zenith Transoceanic is one of the most celebrated series of portable shortwave radios in history. Produced by Zenith Radio Corporation from 1941 to 1981, 4 decades. These rugged, high-performance multiband receivers earned the title of the royalty of radios. They were originally envisioned by Zenith's president, Commander Eugene F. McDonald, who wanted a powerful portable radio capable of receiving long-distance broadcasts while he was out on his yacht. So the evolution of the key models of the Transoceanic family evolved through 2 distinct eras, the classic vacuum tube period and the solid-state transistorized period. So in 1942, they came out with the 7G605 Clipper. Then in 1949, they came out with the G500 miniature tubes. And then in 1951, 2 years later, they came out with the H500 Rugged Classic, followed 3 years later with the 600 Slide Rule Dial. Then in 1957, we're going into the solid state era. They came out with the Royal 1000 First Transistor. And then in 1963, they came out with the Royal 3000, and that added FM. Then in 1979, they came out with the R7000, and that was their final flagship model. So the vacuum tube era went from 1941 to 1962, and like I mentioned, started out with the 7G605 Clipper. The legendary first model featured a sailboat motif on the speaker grill, and it became famous during World War II as a vital link to home for American troops. Then there also came out with the first post-war version, which was the 8G005, and that was the first post-war version boasting a distinct large circular dial with a rich push-button audio amplifier. Then these next two models are the ones you see most of the time. If you're looking for these radios, you'll come across the G500 and the H500. They were extremely popular, and it was a crucial transition model. The G500 was a crucial transitional model that introduced a modernized compact miniature tube chassis while keeping the classic cabinet style. Then the H500, widely considered the sweet spot for modern collectors, it featured a highly reliable circuit design and served as the blueprint for the rare olive drab R520 URR military variant. The 600 series from 1954 to 1962, comprising of the L600, the R600, the T600, the Y600, the A600, and the B600 models. This final tube generation replaced the round airplane dial with a horizontal slide rule tuning dial. The B600 stands out as the last vacuum tube portable radio manufactured in the United States. Moving on to the solid state era from 1957 to 1981, the Royal 1000 came out. It was a groundbreaking shift to fully transistorized design. Cased in a sleek chrome and black leatherette, it dramatically reduced battery consumption and size. The Royal 2000 maintained a foundational solid-state design while introducing AM and FM reception along with the standard shortwave bands. Then the Royal 7000, the final flagship series for the generation, adding features like a dedicated VHF weather band and continuous shortwave frequency coverage. Now, I know when I was looking into these radios and possibly trying to get one, I was looking at the H500 for the tube variety, and then the Royal 7000 for the transistor type radio. Both of these radios were pretty heavy. I mean, even though the transistorized radio, when they switched over, it was still quite heavy for a radio, especially to today's standards. These were still very heavy radios, and for me to actually get one, that actually makes a difference for the shipping over to Hawaii because they are quite heavy. So now I'll go into some of the iconic design and collector features. The first was the wave magnet antenna. It's a detachable loop antenna fitted with suction cups, and it is designed to be stuck directly to a window for optimal signal reception inside trains, planes, or steel buildings. And this is something when you're looking for one of these radios, you want to make sure that it has this feature often, because it's one of those things that can get detached, broken, or lost. So it might not be with the radio. The 1L6 vacuum tube was a highly specialized sub-miniature frequency converter tube. It was found in the models H500 and 600 series. Pristine original replacements are scarce and highly prized by restorers. Next, you have dial-in logs. Flip-down front covers housing the world time zone maps, and many vintage sets still contain their original logbooks tucked into integrated storage slots. And you will see this if you look at some pictures. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have some videos showing a few of these radios in action. I know there's actually some listeners out there that have these radios. So if you do have it, send a picture in, and I'll be able to get that put on the website. And if you got some videos of it in operation, send me the video or send me the link, and I will get those added too. It's really interesting to see these radios and see the features and see them actually operating. So I will have a separate page set up for this segment going over the Zenith transoceanic models. So this logbook feature is really a unique one, and it can really tell the history of the radio, because a lot of people just wrote right on it, kept it right there with the radio, and of course it'll have dates and times where they picked up transmissions from all over the world in many decades ago. So it is a really neat feature and something to look for when you're looking for one of these radios. So now just some rough estimates about market and valuation. Today's working civilian models generally fetch between $100 and $300, depending on cosmetic preservation. Exceptionally rare are the iterations such as a pristine 1942 Clipper, a factory original R520/URR, or a late production R7000-2. Frequently command premium prices upward of $500 to $700 among the dedicated radio enthusiasts. So now a little more history about each particular model. The transoceanic remains popular among collectors and non-collectors alike. It has a cult-like following and has developed around these receivers, with earlier tube or valve versions prized by radio collectors, resulting in the availability of many working models and replacement parts. So the first is the 7G605 /005Y. That's 8G005Y series. The Zenith transoceanic began life in October of 1941 with the production of the 7G605 transoceanic Clipper, and it was priced at $75. So remember, pricing here in 1941, $75 was a pretty good price for one of these radios. It was pretty expensive. It was introduced in January of 1942, but ceased production in April of 1942 as Zenith shifted their production to war-related equipment. During this short production run, some 35,000 units were produced, and sales data shows that many were sold to customers in the above-average income group. However, many also found their way to various theaters of war and in the hands of appreciative servicemen. Demand for a resumption of their production at war's end was kept very high. The first run of approximately 10,000 units had a sailboat embroidered on the speaker grill. But after the Pearl Harbor attack, the patriotic commander ordered the grill cloth changed to depict a bomber, vaguely resembling as the Boeing B-17 bomber. The transoceanic was a dual-powered radio receiver. It could operate from electrical service, AC or DC, and via a pair of A and B dry cell batteries for portability. The batteries are obsolete, but their early transoceanic models live on either due to the availability of use of the AC line or a battery made of modern cells, 6Ds for the A power and a 10 9-volt transistor batteries for the B or an inverter. The 7G605 used 7 tubes. It used a 117ZG6, a 3Q5 tube, a 1LE3 tube, a 1LN5, a 1LA6, a 1LN5, another, and then a 1LD5. Zenith used a selenium rectifier on later versions of the transoceanic, replacing rectifier tubes used on the earlier models. Inserting the power plug into a socket on the chassis or on the side of the radio, depending on the model, switched the transoceanic to battery operation. The first post-war transoceanic was the 8G005Y, designed by Robert Duval Budlong, an industrial design consultant responsible for many of Zenith radio products, priced at $125. It was in production from 1946 to 1949 in several variants. So you can see the radio, the first generation was $75 in 1941 and then jumped to $125 in 1946. Total production was 110,000 units. The 8G005Y used 8 tubes. used two 1L, LN5 tubes, then one LA6, one LD5, one LE3, then it used two of the 1LB4s and a 117Z6 tube. So they're adding more tubes, getting more features, and getting better reception. Next on to the 500 series. The 8G005Y was replaced in December of 1949 by the G500, a changeover model that had updated electronics using miniature tubes but the same appearance. The G500 held its price at less than $100 until it was withdrawn in mid-1951. Total production for the G500 was 90,000. The H500 Super Transoceanic was introduced in May of 1951 at an initial price of $99.95, so barely being under $100 at that time. It had a redesigned front face and incorporated many frequency coverage and electronic changes ordered by McDonnell. There were 245,000 H500s sold, so it really jumped up there. The 500 series models used 5 tubes, the 3V4, the 1U5, and then 2 of the 1U4 and 1 of 1L6. There was also a production run in 1953 and 1954 of 27,218 militarized H500s, designed as the R520/URR, ordered by the U.S. government for the Korean conflict. This set added a 6th tube, which was the 50A1, to eliminate power fluctuations. Now we move on to the 600 series. After the 1953, there was a competition to the Transoceanic from both Helicrafters and their Trans World series of sets, and then RCA with their Strato World models. In the spring of 1954, the 600 series was introduced with its slide rule type dial and mains supply cord, which coils inside the set on a spring-loaded reel. This model stayed in production with minor changes until the end of the Transoceanic tube era in 1962. This 600 series used several letters to denote minor changes. The L600 in 1954, the R600 in 1955, the T600 in 1955 and 1956, the Y600 for 1956 and 1957, the A600 for 1958, and the B600 for 1959 through 1962. So if you have any of those models, that letter in the front will designate a small date range in the 1950s that is separated apart. Production of the 600 series was 270,000 units. The 600 series used 6 tubes. It used 2 1U4s, one L6, one L5, 3V4, and a 50A1. For the second time, there was a small production run in 1956 and 1957 of 2,973 militarized 600s, designated as the R520A/URR, ordered by the U.S. government. Some of these were reportedly airdropped in small numbers during the Bay of Pigs invasion. Zenith was contracted to build 250 containers for this purpose. It is rumored that Fidel Castro made his personal radio for years afterwards. During the tube or valve transoceanic model run, this receiver did not include the 88 through 108 megahertz FM radio band. Eugene McDonnell died in 1958, but he was personally involved in the design changes to his radio to the very end. In November of 1957, Zenith introduced an all-new 9-transistor solid-state transoceanic. The older tube-based transoceanic radios were continued until the production until 1962. So now we move into the transistor series, and they are the Royal 1000/3000 series. In November of 1957, the first of several transistorized transoceanics were introduced, the Royal 1000. As had always been the case, Commander E. McDonald helped in the design of the 1000, and this was his last endeavor in the transoceanic radio before he died soon after its introduction. The Royal 1000 had the same frequency coverage as the A/B 600 series tube transoceanics, with the addition of the 13-meter band. The new Royal 1000 also had an all-metal cabinet design with a front cover opening to the down position. The log chart was located inside the flip-down door. Very early Royal 1000 sported a genuine leather cover marking as such. Another first of the portable radios was a unique dial scale used in the 1000 and later in the other series of transoceanics. The 1000 was designed with a cylinder dial scale that would rotate with the band switch, allowing only that particular band scale to show, and that was on the right side of the radio. Soon after the introduction of the 1000 model, a second model, the Royal 1000D, was added, adding the long wave band covering 150 kilohertz through 405 kilohertz, just below the AM broadcasting band. There was also slight cosmetic differences to distinguish the two models. Production totals for the Royal 1000 are estimated at 170,000. Anthony Canscarcaro was the primary designer of the Royal 1000/1000D cabinets. In 1962, the Royal 3000 was added and the 1000D was eliminated, while the 1000 remained in production through the 1968 model year. The 3000 added the FM broadcast band and eliminated the 13-meter band. Along with a few cosmetic differences, there wasn't much difference electronically between the new model and the earlier 1000 series models, aside from addition of the FM subchassis and the IF transformers. The 3000 used many of the same cabinet parts as the 1000/1000Ds, but required a bolt-back cover to accommodate for the additional parts used for the used because of FM being added. Early 1000 and 1000Ds were only battery only and no provision for external power. This was considered exceptional because battery life was much better than the tube-type models. 8 ordinary D cells would operate the radio for greater than 500 hours, as opposed to 150 hours for the tube models and their massive A/B battery. The 3000 was also introduced as the battery only. Later, the 1000-1 and the 3000-1 models were introduced with a provision for external power using what was the first wall wart type of power supplies, a transformer rectifier and a filter capacitor in a box with an AC line connector that plugged into and hung from the wall socket. Estimated production of the Royal 3000 is 150,000 units. Zenith introduced the Royal 2000 Symphony in 1960, the first AM/FM portable model. In 1963, it introduced the Royal 3000 Transoceanic and added the FM band. And now the last model in this transoceanic line, the Royal 7000 series. In 1968, the Royal 7000 series Transoceanic was introduced. The new model sported a completely new look and many improvements over the weaknesses of the early 1000/3000 series models. Besides a new look, a BFO was added for a single sideband/CW reception. Also, a wide and narrow filter switch was added for increasing selectivity, and the 13-meter band was reintroduced along with extended coverage for 1620 kilohertz through 2000 kilohertz. And the VH up weather band was added. The electrical design was an improvement in both selectivity and sensitivity and used modern silicon NPN transistors rather than the previous germanium-type transistors. Sound quality was much improved. The internal mechanism design was quite similar to the earlier models and still used a steel chassis and point-to-point wiring rather than PC boards. Production of the Royal 7000 was estimated at 130,000 units. The last model transoceanic was the R7000 series introduced in 1979. This model now had complete coverage for 150 kilohertz through 30 megahertz, Gone was the electrical band spread for improved tuning, and the R7000 sported a new electrical design using modular circuit boards instead of point-to-point hardwired chassis for all previous models. There were many other new features also, such as a dual tuning meters, squelch, and several more bands such as air, VHF, 144 megahertz through 175 megahertz. And the R7000 was built in Chicago for the first year, but production was moved to Taiwan after the final 2 years, while all prior models had been made in the U.S. The new Royal line sold well, around 10,000 per year for the 3-year run, but Zenith's lead was steadily eroding. By the time of the release of the R7000 in 1979, fierce competition from Sony in Japan, who with their digital readout dial tuning had in many ways a superior product, meant the end of the famous product line. So there you have the history of the Zenith transoceanic series of radios, and you can see the one unique thing about the transoceanic and Zenith in particular in their radio production. Many radios, really American-made radios, anyways, really died off. Starting in the early 1960s. And you can see here by Zenith's numbers, they did drop off in the 60s, but they still had very strong sales. And they were able to maintain that, especially with this transoceanic line, all the way through the 1970s. So all the 1960s and all through the 1970s, they were still able to remain competitive and sell a lot of units. They did have a really good product. That definitely is the main take here. They had something that was able to compete. Then finally, when they had to move production over to Taiwan, it really kind of marked the end with other radios coming out, like they said, from Sony and many other competitors that were starting up in Asia. So remarkable history here with Zenith, and I like I said, I know I've had there are some listeners listening with some of these older radios, and they are on our listeners page over at VOSR International. So go over and check that page out. You'll see some in there, but I will get pictures of each of the different variations of this transoceanic on the website, so you can check them out. The one that the very first one, the Clipper, was really neat with the yacht on it. I've actually seen a few of those for sale, so they are still out there. But of course, the condition is the main thing on those. Because there are so many variants, that is always what makes something collectible, and especially when it is a good, solid product to begin with. Those are going to be big draws for people to want to collect them, get them, buy the parts radios, so they can get other better looking and better conditioned radios working again, and back out into the market, and or just add it to their collections. So these are very desirable radios, and they are fun to know all the little ins and outs of them for collecting. So they really do have a really good collector's market. So let us know. Do you have one of these Zenith radios? Have you always wanted one? What would be your favorite model to get? And which model do you have? And let us know about other brands of radios that you're interested. We can always do segments on those. So let us know. Send us an email at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. Or you can head over to our website at VOSRinternational.com. You can click on the mail icon and contact us that way. You can also head over to our Facebook group at VOSR International. You can join the group there, and you can begin posting. You can post questions or pictures, reception reports on the Facebook group. And we've got quite a few people over there now doing posts and communicating with each other. It's a really great group. And now, on to the mailbag. Our first email is from Joachim in Wuppertal, Germany. And he writes, hello from Germany to Hawaii. First, I want to inform you that I still waiting for the promised QSL card from VOSR. Maybe it's lost at a post office on its way to Germany. My report was dated March 23rd of 2026. So this falls into what I was talking about during the announcement segment. Sometimes they do get lost. So I went ahead and I sent another one out to Joachim here, and hopefully he will receive that and let me know that he did receive it. He continues on, anyhow, I listened to several new episodes of your broadcast and liked them. Today I found time writing a new reception report. So this was for the June 25th broadcast on 6160 kilohertz, and he was using an ICOM ICR71D with a 10-meter wire outdoor antenna that is 8 meters above the ground, plus a Yaesu antenna tuner, reporting an SINPO of 45444, mostly strong signal, no interference audible, only a little bit of atmospheric noise, as well as a few fadings. Then he gives me the reception report of what was during the program, and remarks that thank you for today's program. I like listening to the segments. Congratulations on your birthday of June 28th. Thank you very much. By the way, I do have 3 receivers in use: the ICOM ICR71D with the 10-meter wire outdoor 8 meters above the ground, and the Yaesu antenna tuner. Then he also has the Grundig Satellite 500 with a built-in telescopic antenna that he uses, and the Sony ICF 76000D with the telescopic antenna. All 3 receivers do a very good job. Thanks for a verification, and all the best in the future. So thank you so much, Joachim. And please let me know when you get that QSL card in the mail. And thanks for listening to VOSR International. And next we have an email from Bernd from Ottenau, Germany. And he writes, hello, Jeff and the VOSR team. I am pleased to submit my reception report. The receiver was a Grundig Satellite 700 with a telescopic antenna. I was listening on June 25th. And the broadcast was on 6160 kilohertz with an SINPO rating of 44343. And so that is a pretty good reception, and it's been about the average that Bernd has been reporting on 6160. And I know when I go on Kiwi SDR and I check throughout Europe, I am picking up the broadcast on 6160 kilohertz a little better than the 3975 kilohertz. We'll see if that changes during the wintertime. I just started the 6160 broadcast a couple months ago, but it has been positive, and thanks for your report, Bernd. Next, we have an email from Reese from Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin. As he writes, hello from Wisconsin. Just a quick hello from southeastern Wisconsin. I have a relatively new Malahit M-Lite 880 radio with a GA800 indoor loop antenna. However, band conditions were not as good as most weeks when when listening to your broadcast. So I switched over to an online SDR receiver near Chicago, Illinois, who uses a loop outside antenna with much better results. I will have to work on my antennas. Thank you for your program from Hawaii. I really enjoy it. Take care, and 73s. Thank you so much, Reese. I lived in Wisconsin for about 40 years, so definitely familiar with the area. And I did a segment on the Malahit M-Lite 880. And I'm recording these broadcasts ahead of time. I ordered it a while ago. It's supposed to come in the third or fourth week of July, so I haven't gotten it yet. So I will be doing an update to that segment. And then, yes, I have the GA800 antenna, and I just didn't have very good luck with that one. That is really one of the only loops that I didn't have luck with. I even ran it outside a bit, and it didn't perform as well as the K180WLA. Even the ML30 Plus performed better than that. And then I'm currently using the K480 WLA. So those might be some antennas you might want to check out. But thank you so much for your email. It's really good to hear from people from over in Wisconsin, and continue to be a listener at VOSR International. And next we have an email from regular listener Justin, and he's also from Wisconsin, in DeForest, Wisconsin. And he was listening on June 25th on 9455 kilohertz. And he was using an RSP Duo with the K480 WLA antenna and an XH Data D808, reporting an NPO of 45444. So very good reception over to DeForest with that antenna and setup. And he writes, Jeff, I started listening tonight on my XH Data D808 with a short wire antenna, and reception was fairly noisy but listenable. Reception improved quite a bit in the second half of the show, and I decided to get my K480 WLA outside and listen to the rest of the show that way. Please continue to share your experiences with the upgraded K480 WLA. I'm curious to see how the diameter affects the reception, at which is best. I would like to try it myself, as I am not a fan of the wire antenna that it came with, and I am a big fan of antennas overall. Though it is a very good model antenna, one of the best right now that I have found. And he also adds on, "Thank you for the show." Thank you so much, Justin. Yes, I do. Again, this I'm recording this segment here on July 1st. And I have ordered the half-inch tube, copper tubing that I am going to upgrade the antenna with. I first upgraded it with a 1/4 inch, and I have heard that the half-inch does make a difference. So I ordered that, and I will be doing another segment to report on that. Thanks again for your email, Justin. Next, we have an email from John, who lives in St. Louis, Missouri. He writes, I heard your program on WRMI at 0200 UTC on June 27th on 5850 kilohertz. My radio is a Prudence J711 with a whip antenna. This is the second time I heard your program, and I enjoy it very much. And then he asked when the broadcast is, when other frequencies and when it is on. And I did email him a schedule that we do have. So if anybody does need a schedule, send in an email, and I will get that out to you also, so you can know all the days and times listed there when the broadcast will be on. I always put the times in UTC, so you will have to convert them over to your local times, and just keep that in mind. That Prudence J711, I do have some videos on that radio over on my YouTube channel, and I will actually put them over on the VOSRinternational.com channel too, where you can go check that radio out. It's a nice little radio for being on the lower end, so it's worth checking into if you're looking for that type of radio. So again, thanks for your email, John, and thanks for listening to VOSR International. And our next email comes from John, located in the Philippines. And he writes he was listening to our broadcast on 5850 kilohertz on June 27th, and he was using an SDR receiver with a 160 meter random wire antenna, and he was using a QTH of Tennessee, so he's using an online receiver to listen to the broadcast in the Philippines, and reports an SINPO of 45545. And he writes, hello everyone, I have heard or monitor your program via WRMI on 5850 kilohertz, and from a Kiwi SDR in Tennessee. The signal reception is good strength and the less fading. Because I can't receive the signal on WRMI in the Philippines on my shortwave radio receiver. I am John, I'm in the same position as you. During the daylight hours, I can't pick up 5850 kilohertz. I can get 5850 later on in the evening, but that's not when my show goes out. So I can't pick it out on my shortwave equipment either. So thanks, John, and hopefully you'll continue to listen to VOSR International. And next we have an email from regular listener Jawahar, and he writes, Dear Sir, reception on 15770 kilohertz has been good and steady throughout the past week, and attached is a recording of the broadcast today on June 27th on 15770 kilohertz. And I have heard WHRI over a decade ago. And he was one of the only ones that mentioned being able to, remembering listening to that broadcast that I did a segment on WHRI. From Hawaii. So that is a really neat information. I'm glad you were able to pick that up and let us know. And thank you for continuing to listen to VOSR International. And the next email I received was from Jürgen in Germany, and he did report getting his QSL card, and it did take almost 3 weeks for him to receive that card. So just a little bit of a gauge for everyone who is waiting for a QSL card to come from Molokai, Hawaii. Now over to our Facebook page. I did get a post from John, who is in Arizona, and he posted, Jeff, to answer your question about the various size tubing for inactive loop antennas. I have tried several different materials for my loops. Stock stainless steel wire loop, solid number 12 copper wire loop, 36 inch in diameter. Performed better than the stainless steel loop, but nothing spectacular. A 1/4 inch copper tubing, 36 inch diameter, very noticeable improvement. And then the 1/2 inch copper tubing to a 36 inch diameter reception was best with that. So thanks, John. This again is posted over on our Facebook page, VOSR International. So you can go over there and check it out. And I do have some 1/2 inch copper tubing coming, so I will be doing an update segment on that also. Thanks again, John. Then we had an inquiry from our website at VOSRinternational.com, and it came from Ron, and he just put in his message, I listened to your program here in Memphis, Tennessee, and his call sign is KM4LDI. So thank you, Ronald, for your message, and thanks for letting me know that you picked up the broadcast, and hopefully you'll continue to listen to VOSR International. Then back to our Facebook post, we had another one. This one is from Nick from Wales, UK, and he posted, I'm in Wales, UK, getting you low signal on 3975 kilohertz, but very good on 6160 kilohertz, using a Yaesu FT DX10 with a GA800 loop antenna. So thank you for that, and that does confirm what I've been seeing on Kiwi SDRs too, that 6160 kilohertz has been doing better as over the last couple months than 3975. But we'll see what happens as the seasons change and the daylight gets changes along with it. So thanks again for posting, Nick. And next I had a post from Terrence, who is in Duchesne, Utah, and he was picking up the broadcast on 5850 kilohertz. And on a Yaesu 911A with a 60-foot end-fed single-strand cable hung approximately 40 feet up to the east. He's reporting an SINPO of 44344. Thank you very much, Terrence, for that. It sounds like you have a great setup, and you were able to pick that up pretty well from your location over there in Utah. Speaking of the locations, also for our listener map, we do need listener pins only in 2 states left. I need North Dakota and South Dakota. So if we do have anyone listening in either of those states, that'd be great to send in an email, a reception report, just letting me know that you're getting the broadcast over in North Dakota or over in South Dakota, and then we'll have a pin in every state in the U.S. So that ends this mailbag. So please continue to send in the emails. This is great getting all this communication. Send us your emails, reception reports, and comments to VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. You can also stop over to our Facebook page at VOSR International, and once you join the group, you'll be able to post over there. Again, I read those comments on the air also. And then lastly, of course, you can always go over to our website at VOSR VOSRinternational.com, and then you can click on the mail icon and contact us that way. And next, I would just want to throw this out there again for anyone who wants to do a guest segment here on VOSR International. We've had a good handful of people take me up on this and send in segments. They've done multiple segments. We had a couple that even did entire broadcasts of our show. And it really helps with the variety and gets some good information flowing out there to all the listeners. I know there are a ton of listeners out there with so much experience listening to shortwave and with equipment. It would be great if they would pass their knowledge on to our listeners, and everybody really enjoys those types of segments also. So it's very easy to do a segment. Segments can be 5 minutes up to 30 minutes, and it really doesn't take long to when you're explaining something or going over and passing along information. The time actually flies when you're making these segments. Some people think that they can't talk that long, going over a segment. But once you start to do it, you realize that the time goes by pretty fast when you're trying to explain something. So don't worry about the length of the segment. And the good part about it is you can do it at your leisure. All you need is be able to record the segment in MP3 format and then just send me over the file. So it's always best to send me an email first. Send us an email. Let me know that you want to do a guest segment. Let me know what you're thinking of. Anything shortwave radio related works here. We do all things shortwave radio. So let us know if you want to do a segment on ham radio. We've done a few segments on that, but not a lot. But there's just a ton of topics that you can choose. And a lot of times I tell people, especially if it's their first segment, to just go ahead and give a little bit of background history about yourself. Send it, the segment in, do the segment just explaining how you got into shortwave radio, the equipment you've used over the years, what you're doing now, what you're using now, and those are really interesting segments, and the listeners really enjoy those. So even if you're just thinking about doing that type of segment, so if you're just a regular listener and want to give your history of getting into shortwave radio listening as a hobby, go ahead and do that segment and get it sent in, and we will get it on the air. So let us start out with an email. And if you have an idea, you want to get going on it, that's fine too. You can send me the file in MP3 format, but mail it off to me at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. You can also head over to our website, click on the mail icon, and contact us that way.
And that concludes our broadcast. Be sure to catch our broadcasts every Saturday at 0300 UTC on 9455 kHz, and also on Saturdays at 2300 UTC on 15770 kHz. Transmitted by WRMI Radio Miami International from Okeechobee, Florida.
We are also broadcast by Shortwave Radio Gold in Lower Saxony, Germany on Thursdays at 1800 UTC on both 3975 kHz and 6160 kHz.